Hello dear students. Today we'll talk a poem from Flamingo textbook, A Thing of Beauty, written by John Keats. Let us see some information about the poet first. John Keats was born in London in the year 1795 and he died in Rome in 1821 at the young age of 25 due to illness. He is a romantic poet, and his poetry is characterized by sensual imagery in his most popular work, which is a series of odes, a lyrical poem which is meant for a particular subject. Today, his poems are one of the most sought after creations in English literature. The above given poetry is an excerpt from his poem Endymion, a poetic romance that was written in 1818 and is considered to be an epic poem. If we talk about the poem, it is based on Greek mythology about a shepherd named Endymion, his quest for his love Dinah, and how in his quest he falls in love with an earthly maiden who later turns out to be Dinah herself. So now here we'll start line wise discussion of the poem. Let us see first few lines from the poem. A thing of beauty is joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Now, the word bower means a shady place under the tree. Let us talk about the explanatory lines. The poet says that beauty stays forever. It never fades away. Rather, it increases with the passing time. The perception of the poet regarding beauty is that it never goes off with the passing time. Rather, he says that it beautifies more and more. For the poet, beauty is like a beautiful shady tree under whose shade all the creatures can sleep peacefully and enjoy good health. Now, if we talk about the literary devices for these few lines, first let us talk about the rhyme scheme. The poem follows A, B, B, C rhyme scheme. The words like forever, never, keep, sleep, breathing make A, B, B, C the rhyme scheme of the poem. Then the next poetic device is alliteration. Use of consonant sound at the start of two words which are close in series is alliteration. And here if we see the words like sleep, sweet, they make this poetic device in these lines. Metaphor, bower quiet. Now bower quiet, it shows or it talks about a thing of beauty. Okay. Calmness of the bower is compared to the calming effect of a beautiful thing. Okay. So for the sake of comparison, bower quiet is used to understand the effect of a beautiful thing in life. So by bringing this comparison into the lines, we can see metaphor is a figure of speech used by the poet. Next few lines. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth. Spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and overdarkened ways made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. Let us discuss the words first. Morrow, the following day, tomorrow. Reading, surround or encircle. Despondence means depressed and gloomy means sad. The poet says that every day it is the beauty which fills us with the spirit to live. So, this is how we can understand what the poet means to say. He is trying to say that it is the beauty or it is a thing of beauty which creates a hope and optimism to live the life. It creates the spirit to live. It is a beauty which builds the desire in us to live, though there are sad moments, in spite of despondence, means in spite of the depressed moments in life, sad moments in depressing or sad moments in life. Okay, in spite of cruel people around us, inhuman people around us, we can have the spirit to live only because that thing of beauty. So here the poet wants to say that without beauty, the earth will be full of cruel people, and it will be very sad, and it will be giving gloomy moments. So how significant a thing of beauty is conveyed by the poet with the help of these lines. It is a beauty which is created by God, which helps us to remove the sadness. Remove the sadness. Okay, and for that the poet uses the words like it moves away the pall, the shades of sorrow and sadness and gloomy, that is removed by a thing of beauty. Now, if we talk about literary devices, anaphora, use of same word in two consecutive lines. Now, which same word is repeated? Here, of is the word which is repeated in two consecutive lines. Alliteration, use of consonant sound at the start of two words which are close in series. So, band, bind, noble nature, some shape. This is how we can see the same consonant sound is repeated. Next is metaphor. Wreathing a flowery band. Now the beautiful things of our life bind us to the earth. So this is how the flowery band is used to make the idea about a beautiful thing more clear. Okay, so with this comparison we find metaphor in the lines. Imagery, creating a sensory effect of beautiful things lined up in a string. So by using the images, poet creates a sensory effect. A flowery band, this is an image, a very beautiful image used by the poet. Inversion. Now if we find the normal order of the words is reversed, then it is inversion. Here we take the example, are we reading a flowery band? Okay, instead of saying we are reading, the poet says are we, and so it is inversion. Now the next few lines. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon, for simple sheep, and such are daffodils, with a green world they live in, and clear rills, that for themselves a cooling covert make, against the hot season the mid-forest break. Boon means a blessing, rills it means a small stream, and break a process to slow down. So here the poet is describing, or he describes the beautiful things which are present on the earth. These are the things like sun, moon, trees, flowers. Daffodils is the example used or taken by the poet, and the rivers. Poet says that all these things are like a blessing bestowed on all the creatures on the earth by the earth. He further describes that the trees provide us with their shade, flowers with their beauty, and rivers with their coolness during the hot summers. Now, all of these are the beauties of nature which are like a boon for us. So, against the hot season, who is protecting us? It is the nature, it is the earth who is taking care of us. Okay, it is the water of the clear rills or the small streams which provides us the cooling effect, or cooling soothing feeling by providing the cool water, and the greenery and the flowers and everything that is the source of beauty, and that is a thing of beauty which makes our life beautiful. Let's talk about the literary devices. Alliteration, use of consonant sound at the start of two words which are close in series. So, sound is repeated in the words like sprouting, shady, simple, sheep. Okay, sound C or K is repeated in cooling, covered. Imagery, trees giving shade. So, the image of the trees is used here by using the words like sprouting, shady, boon. Then growing process of daffodils. Poet says daffodils with the green world they live in. And the one more image, that is clean river streams, that is the clear rills, and those are the beautiful images used by the poet. The next one is antithesis, where we find opposite words placed together. So here old and young are the two opposite words placed together. So this is what we discussed in the first part. The next discussion of the poem will continue in the next part. Thank you.